Robert Baratheon, the first of his name, King of the Andals, the Rhoynar, and the First Men, Protector of the Seven Kingdoms, and Defender of the Realm, is dead. Killed by a wild boar while hunting in the forests outside of King's Landing. He was my friend. And now I sit in the dungeons underneath King's Landing because of his heir. His son, Joffrey Baratheon, has seen fit to place me in this prison, for I know a terrible truth. That Joffrey Baratheon is in fact not a Baratheon at all, but a bastard child born of incest from his mother Cersei Lannister and his uncle, now father, Sir Jaime Lannister, the Kingslayer. Welcome everyone to Crusader Kings 2, a Game of Thrones. As always, I'm your host, J Squared John Jeremy, and this is the scenario that I thought most intriguing. You see, in canon, right after Robert is killed, Eddard has a choice to make. Does he side with Peter Baelish and Renly and try to either flee or start a revolt within King's Landing? Or does he try and do the honorable thing and allow Cersei and her family to escape? Now in canon, he tries to choose the latter, and he is imprisoned for his actions. And at this point in the game, so have we. But there is one distinct difference here. The game allows us one opportunity, one slim chance of hope that in canon was not afforded to Eddard at all. We can demand a trial by combat, and if we're successful, we walk free, regardless of what Joffrey, Cersei, Tywin, Jaime, or anyone else say. We walk free. But to get there is the problem, because it's not quite as easy as it sounds. The Targaryens are all dead or in exile, but that is scant consolation for the death of Lyanna, Brandon, and Father. At least the Northmen can live in peace now. Long live King Robert. Lord Paramount Eddard, I declare that my brother, Robert, left no true-born issue of his body, the boy Joffrey, the boy Tommen, and the girl Marcella being abominations of incest between Cersei Lannister and Sir Jaime the Kingslayer. By right of birth and blood, I do lay claim to the Iron Throne. Let all true men declare their loyalty. Signed, Stannis of House Baratheon, the first of his name, King of the Andals, the Rhoynar, and the First Men, and Lord of the Seven Kingdoms. Of course, I indeed did know and in fact was the one to send Stannis this information. Now, before we get into the personal combat situation, let's take a look at Winterfell. Obviously, we are currently playing as Eddard Stark, Lord Paramount of the North. Our heir is Lord Robb, and Robb Stark is 15 years of age and is about to become a full adult. We're going to choose a focus for Robb in a martial education, because obviously he's already training towards that way anyway. We're going to change his guardian as well, someone who is fitting that role, and we'll go with Mage Mormont. Now we also have two childhood focuses to pick, one for Brandon Stark, who is already at this point crippled, so a marshal, probably not. Instead, let's have him focus on thrift, and he could potentially become a steward in the future. And Arya. Arya is already a trained fighter and a duelist, so it would be a shame not to put her in a struggle. Because of course, that's what Arya does, struggle all the time. Now we can choose a designated regent of the North. The game would like us to choose Roose Bolton. I am not going to choose Roose Bolton. Instead, I'm going to choose Maester Lewin. He is going to be our steward. And designated regent, rather. Our ambition is to become a paragon of virtue, become exalted amongst men, see our house in the Iron Throne, or groom an heir. Considering Robb is so close, let's choose groom an heir for the time being. Robb also requires a wife. If we want to arrange a marriage, who is the best person to marry? Ooh. Marjorie Tyrell, Lady of the Reach, is currently available for marriage. She's 15 years old, attractive, quick, and lustful. All good things. All very good things. And it would result in a non-aggression pact with Lord Paramount Mace of the Reach, which could lead to better things in the future, which, considering where we currently are, might be a good idea to try and get. So, Marjorie, it looks like Mace will allow you to marry us, even though you would normally prefer matrilineal marriage. Hopefully that goes through. Would be kind of nice. We can create the High Lordship of Stony Shore, which would cost us 200 prestige and 0 gold. Let's go ahead and do that. As these 3 territories here, Sea Dragon Point, Blackpool, and Stony Shore. I am going to give away Sea Dragon because we apparently own that. Who would be good for Sea Dragon? You are ambitious, Rodwell. I will not give it to you. Same with you, Gulbert. Martin here, Castellan of Blackpool. You are not ambitious, and you are in fact a genius. I will grant you the Lordship of Sea Dragon Point. And in fact, I will grant you the landed title, the High Lordship of Stony Shore. There you go. Now then, that takes care of that. We can set focus for our crown in Winterfell, which we will do. Our heir will soon be married, and that leaves us with the trial by combat. So, a couple things. First, I can demand a trial by combat. As a prisoner and a person of high birth, you are entitled to a trial by combat from your captor. This does not mean that they have to accept it. They can refuse, at the cost of what I presume is prestige and piety, but they can refuse. We are hoping that they do not. Okay, now, Eddard Stark right now is a skilled fighter and has a few abilities here which tend to lead him to believe he is an okay duelist. The question is, do any of these characters here in this list have better capabilities at dueling than Eddard Stark does? And to save time, I have already gone through each of these characters here, and in fact, 2 of them are better duelists than Eddard Stark. One is Howland Reed, the other John Umber. Because of the historical nature of our relationship, I'm going to choose Howland Reed to be our champion. For those who are confused, take a look at the War of the Usurper, and specifically the duel at the Tower of Joy. Howland Reed and Eddard Stark were the only 2 survivors of that battle. And now we're going to ask Howland to do one more duty for his Lord Paramount. My lord, I, Lord Howland Reed, will honor my allegiance to you and stand for you in your trial by combat against King Joffrey. Good. Now King Joffrey will pick their champion. We hope. We hope. Hey everybody, J Square John Jeremy here with a brief intermission. Just want to thank you all for watching thus far. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do so you can keep track of the content being produced, and share this content out if you feel that others would enjoy it as well. Let's get back to it. Alright, let's go ahead and get started here. My liege, may you live in harmony and contentment. I have been appointed as your regent. Maester Lewin has been made our regent here. We have a message about requesting council support from Duran Martell. To the Honorable Noble Eddard, may you live in harmony and contentment. Please support me by voting with me in the council. If you agree to do this for me, I will henceforth owe you a favor. I accept. And now... oh. Interesting. Joffrey may have imprisoned me, but I am still technically Hand of the King. Not exactly the brightest of kings, I see. Let's turn on the message log here as well. And continue on. All hail His Grace Joffrey of the House Lannister, the first of his name, King of the Andals and the Rhoynar and the First Men, Lord of the Seven Kingdoms, and Protector of the Realm. Curse his name. Ooh. King Joffrey has chosen Jaime to face my champion in the trial by combat. Jaime Lannister. Well, Howland, your work is certainly cut out for you. Consider this another fight like we did with Arthur Dayne, the Sword of the Morning. And hopefully we will be just as successful. You watch with a queer mix of glee and relief as Howland Reed drives his sword relentlessly at Jaime, beating him into submission. The gods have cast their judgment, and I have been found innocent. A just outcome. Lord Paramount Eddard of the North is released from prison. It is done. Your champion lies dead in a pool of their own blood, and Lord Howland stands victorious. You quiver with fury as you watch him and the prisoner Eddard Stark walk free. Curse them all. This must be from Joffrey's perspective. Oh. Oh, justice. Sweet, delicious justice. Jaime the Kingslayer was slain by Lord Howland of the Neck during a trial by combat on 4 November 298 at the age of 32. And we are free. It is a glorious day for House Stark in Winterfell. A glorious day indeed. Lord Paramount Eddard of the North has been released from King Joffrey of the Iron Throne's dungeon. Oh yes. Our new character focus will be in war, because I presume we'll be going to it very shortly. I can now introduce our heir to the realm. As soon as your heir is of age, you can choose to formally introduce him or her to the vassals of the realm. This can help build trust that will certainly prove useful for the child in the future. Send the invitations. You have invited your vassals to partake in a formal introduction of your heir, Lord Robb. He will have to exchange many pleasantries and act in a very formal way, something that might be tiresome for someone as young as him. However, you have full confidence that he will not disappoint you. They will be here soon. The regency for Lord Paramount Eddard of the North has ended. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And now, apparently, we can start a faction. Lower Crown Authority in the Iron Throne. Independence. Lord Paramount Renly for the Iron Throne. Lord Stannis for the Iron Throne. Edric for the Iron Throne. Princess Marcella for the Iron Throne. Prince Tommen for the Iron Throne. Depose Joffrey. Crown Loyalists. Overthrow the monarchy of the Iron Throne. Well, considering that we did in fact send him the letter, we will go ahead and start a faction for Lord Stannis for the Iron Throne. And hopefully, other members will join us in this faction. Hopefully, he says. Oh, there's a Lord Paramount Renly for the Iron Throne faction now. And there's an Edric for the Iron Throne faction, led by our father-in-law, Hoster Tully. Oh boy. So we have 3 different factions now in the Iron Throne. Mine, of course, being the most noble of them. But sometimes the most noble of factions is not necessarily the best of factions. Excellent. Robb and Lady Margaery Tyrell have gotten married together. Lord Roose, the Leech Lord, is a renowned, godly, and learned vassal of yours. After having introduced him to Robb, Roose approaches you with an offer. Roose is willing to spend some time teaching Robb some of the more intricate parts of the legends in exchange for your favor. Anything for Lord Robb, or there is no need for that. Anything for Lord Robb. I accept. During his visit to my court, the Justicar of Shadowmoor, Brandon Norrie, has really convinced me of what a benevolent and peaceful ruler his liege, Lord Brandon of Shadowmoor, is. Really? Alright. Lord Robb Stark and Lady Margaery Tyrell have gotten married, and it is customary for a dowry to be paid to the groom's house. We can either say yes, it is everyone's concern, or no, people respect wealth. I'm going to go for the gold. Go for the gold in this case. Special character actions possible. Host a wedding for Robb Stark and Lady Margaery Tyrell. Decrease the national revolt risk. Increase opinion for a year. Lose 75 gold. That doesn't sound worth it at all. Okay. We'll continue onwards then. Anybody else want to join my faction? My lord, Lord Paramount Mace has sent you the dowry that was due, and I must say it was most generous. Much gold and silver was offered, probably more than the worth of the bride. 200 gold, Mace Tyrell, you are indeed generous. How much gold will it be to build a new castle? Nearly 900. Okay. Well, I can always take this castle. No, I can't do that. I'm Eddard Stark. Don't want to steal things from other people. Ooh, Lord Paramount Mace of the Reaches founded the deposed King Joffrey faction. But that will only put in Tommen, who is also a bastard. But I guess that's not necessarily known yet, because... No, he is a suspected bastard. So is... Nope. That's not... Wait, hold on, what? Yeah, Marcella is a suspected bastard too, so is Tommen. So I don't know what Mace is trying to go for there. Would be nice if he joined my faction, though. Now, Balon Greyjoy has created the Lower Crown Authority in the Iron Throne faction. Listen, guys, we can't all be in different factions. And now Joffrey... To the heroic Lord Paramount Eddard, peace be with you. We've decided to offer you the position of commander. Do you accept? No thanks. No thank you. Oh, sir. But he has named me Master of the Horse. It seems as if Robb has started getting along incredibly well with the child of one of the visiting vassals. Indeed, apparently Robb and Clay Kerwin are becoming fast friends. How lovely. Very nice indeed. There are no there are no societies for us to join. Nobody is joining. Oh, hold on. Dorne has joined the Lower Crown Authority in the Iron Throne faction. Lady Maud has dragged her unfaithful spouse, Lord Rickard, before me, and insists I should punish him. This is a waste of my time, lose 10 prestige, and Lord Rickard is glad. A couple of days in the dungeon will do him some good. Her opinion of me is great. Rickard of Carhold is imprisoned. Rickard's opinion of me changes by -20 for 1 year. Obviously, he's not happy. I wonder if that means that I'll get to be able to ransom him, though. He doesn't have enough gold for a ransom, though. He's Lord of Carhold. Yeah, and I'm his direct... While having a pleasant conversation, you are suddenly interrupted by an infernal ruckus. Upon further investigation, it seems as if Robb has gotten into a fight with the child of one of the visiting vassals. You tear the two children apart, but it is obvious that Robb and Lawrence Snow will not ever be friends after this encounter. I wonder who started it. Lawrence Snow is the bastard child of Hales of Hornwood. Eddard Stark, I have decided to bestow upon you the title Warden of the North. You are hereby charged with the defense of the North in the event of any foreign threat. Yours, King Joffrey, King of the Andals, the Rhoynar, and the First Men, Lord of the Seven Kingdoms, and Protector of the Realm. Indeed, a great honor. That title was stripped from us, I presume, when we were imprisoned, and now he has deemed that it is necessary to give it back to us. But, let's see here now. Prisoner, I cannot ransom you. How much gold? 145 gold. I call you to trial. Let's see what this does. Lord Rickard Karstark has demanded trial by combat, and is summoning his champion to Winterfell. He will remain in the dungeons until then. Who will his champion be? I'm curious. The guards drag Rickard Karstark up from his cell and throw him at your feet. I've come for justice, he says. By right of birth and blood, I demand trial by combat. Harrion Karstark will be my champion. You have that right? Trained fighter, 4, brave, 2, wroth, cynical, and diligent. You have that right. I will select someone to stand for his Lord Paramount. Uh-oh. I was hoping that it would just allow me to pick Howland Reed again, but apparently not. I see. Well, Theon Greyjoy, let's see here. You're a skilled fighter, so that's 6. You're also deceitful, so that's 7. You're also brave, so that's 9. Theon Greyjoy, I choose you as my champion. Please don't die. Theon steps forward. I'll stand for you, my lord. Fight well, Theon. You watch with glee as Theon drives his sword relentlessly at Rickard Karstark's champion, beating them into submission. The gods have cast their judgment, and the prisoner is guilty. Now I shall pass judgment. Lord Rickard Karstark has been found guilty by the gods. What punishment shall he receive? Execute him, the gods command it. I shall be merciful. Send him to the wall. Let him rot in the cells. He can stay here as my guest. If you go to the wall, your heir is Alice Karstark, who is already married to... There you are. There you are. I see. If that's the case, I don't think I want to send Rickard to the wall. He can stay here as my guest. My prisoner, Lord Rickard Karstark, is complaining about his dark cell in the dungeon, and is asking for more suitable accommodations that would befit his rank. I see. Well, now I'll release you, and you owe me a favor. My young daughter-in-law has finished her education in the intrigues of the court. It is evident that she's excelled in her studies. I see. My liege, I believe that one of your vassals can be discouraged from associating with conspiratorial factions if the proper leverage is obtained. How do you wish to proceed? Your humble spymaster, Lord Wyman II of White Harbor. This is Lord Medger of Castle Serwyn. I will ask you politely to stop factioning. All right. Well then, that is an interesting first episode. We have made our escape from Joffrey's prison. We are back in Winterfell. We have killed Jaime Lannister, the Kingslayer. And now we prepare for what we presume to be a civil war soon to come. The question that it will be on the minds of most is, who will be the one to start it? Find out next time. Hey everyone, J Square John Jeremy here. Thanks for watching this video. Be sure to click on subscribe and the bell icon to ensure you're kept up to date on the channel. Until next time, so long and take care.